For exam 2, part 1, table 18 shows the quantitative variable number of reviews per month based on the data set that was provided to us of the Airbnb listings in the San Diego area in September 2018. Now, with the number of reviews per month, we took that data set in RStudio and calculated a 5-number summary, as well as the mean, the standard deviation, and this is our sample size that was reported from the data. If you can check out the 5-number summary, it's very skewed right, the distribution, but since we have such a high sample size number of 7,476, and since most of the data is concentrated towards the left, we're still confident in our ability to, or we believe it's reasonable to produce confidence intervals for our data that would provide us with reliable information. Using the mean, the standard deviation, and the sample size number, we can use this formula given to us in class to calculate our given confidence intervals, as well as this table for the different confidence intervals, providing us with the z-values that get plugged here in the equation. The formula is as follows. This is our sample mean plus or minus the z-value here, depending on which confidence interval we're using. And then this is our standard deviation for S divided by the square root of our sample size n. Using the formula as I just described, we plug in our necessary values for a 95% confidence interval. This is our sample mean, 2.002. This is the z-value for a 95% confidence interval. This is our standard deviation, 2.092. And this is the square root of our sample size, 7,476. Upon calculating this using a calculator, we come up with the confidence interval 1.955 to 2.050, with 1.955 being our lower bound of the confidence interval and 2.050 being the upper bound of our confidence interval. Now, this confidence interval is supposed to capture where the mean number of reviews per month for the Airbnb listings, where that's going to fall. Now, a better interpretation of this, as we discussed in class, is written up here. It's a little wordy. 95% of samples of size 7,476 reviews per month of Airbnb listings would produce intervals that capture the true mean number of reviews per month of Airbnb listings. And this could only apply to September and also only apply to the San Diego area, because that's where our data was taken from, and that's where our population was, where we sampled. Now, coming back over here, we can talk about the 90% confidence interval. Using the exact same method up here that we use for 95%, except instead of our z-value being 1.96, because we're at a different confidence interval now, it's going to be 1.645. Doing the exact same calculation, we get a lower bound that's 1.962 for a confidence interval, and an upper bound for a confidence interval of 2.042. Now, when discussing the differences between a 90% confidence interval and a 95% confidence interval, it goes as follows. For a 95% confidence interval, we're 95% confident. So we have a higher confidence that the interval is going to capture the true mean number of reviews. Now, as you can see, our 1.955 is a lower number than our 1.962, and our 2.050 is a greater number than our 2.042. So our confidence interval here is larger, and our confidence interval here is tighter. Now, what this means is, because we're 95% confident that it's going to fall within this range, we have to increase the actual interval, because in order to be that confident, we need a larger interval that the mean could possibly fall within. Now, if we want to be less confident that our mean's going to fall within this interval, then we can have a tighter interval because we're less confident it's going to fall within there, so our interval's tighter. Gives us less of a range of numbers that our mean could actually fall within. And that wraps up our exam 2 part 1 for table 18. Thank you very much.